bit like. Too bad for yourself.
The northeast of Scotland is home to some very rural communities which have very little around them and are miles away from major cities. Rural touring involves performers making small-scale theatre productions which tour non-traditional theatre spaces in isolated communities. This documentary is set out to answer the question, does rural performances bring communities together? This film will also provide you with an insight to what it is like to be a part of rural touring. We will help answer the question using 4 perspectives: rural performers, Northeast Arts Touring Organisation, promoters, and finally, audience response.
I didn't go to amateur drama in Aberdeen, which a lot of people did, because a lot of people I know went to Longacre Players, children's theatre and everything. And I didn't get involved in that, mainly because my cousin moved to Bangor when I was 13 and we were best pals and all my social life was there, so I didn't spend time in Aberdeen. But I was always very keen on drama. So my friend who was at Longacre Players said, why don't we apply for drama college? It'd be great fun. And I thought, oh my God, that would be amazing, amazing. And nobody in the family had ever done anything like that. I met Rona Munro and doing a play of hers when she was just a young playwright. And we got together and thought we'd like to form our own company and do our own stuff, do stuff about women. At that time, that was in the 80s. So we started in 1986 and formed our own company and worked as a duo. Because I remember at the time thinking, you know, I was in my 30s by then and I thought, you know, where's my career going and stuff like that. I'm not sure I ever thought that would be something that would last. But, you know, we were at the right time and right place.
I've been touring devised physical theatre, which I also produce, write, direct and perform as Company Gavin Robertson since 1997. But before that, I started around 1985, actually with my first ever grant, which was from the Scottish Arts Council. I've done a lot of work touring with the British Council, which exists to take culture, British English culture, to foreign places and is part of the diplomatic corps. So we're very lucky in the UK. We have those a facility to take us abroad to foreign countries. And I generally, I don't call myself an actor, I call myself a performer, because actually you tend to wear several different hats. I've got a green one on today, but normally, so you're either a writer, producer, director, and with any one of those hats or a combination of such, that's how I tour my work, the work that I make. So I don't audition or work for anyone else.
I don't get funding from like Creative Scotland or anywhere. I mean, when I first started off and people said, oh, you must get funding to do this. And I started to fill in the forms and I thought, I'm going to spend most of my time trying to get funding when I could be working. I found a lot of people have spent a lot of time getting funding and then maybe doing one production and then having to start all over again, and then it's another year, maybe 2 years before they do another. And then a lot of people give up because that's just too much work.
Times have changed now. There is less money for the arts. There's less money for companies who want to make work. There's less money for venues that want to buy in or commission new work. So you have to be slightly inventive and a bit resolute about where you find your funding from. I now fund my work either with venue partners, so either, and probably more than one, so there might be 2 or 3 different venues, possibly in combination with a festival that commissions a piece of work.
In the village hall, you know, you could be like on the flat or on all sorts of different platforms, and you know, you can see your audience a lot of the time because the lighting won't be as strong. You know, they've just come sort of locally, and then they're going to have often a raffle, you know, a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever. People can be more reserved because they do know each other, and because they feel that they're very close. Whereas in a theatre, you're completely anonymous. You know, you're completely blacked out. Big theatre, the audience is very much sort of set back from the stage and the performers. Whereas in a village hall, you can be very close to the performer.
The reward for me, the difference that rural touring provides as opposed to a week or months long season in a rep theatre or in London, is the connection with people. You completely connect with your audience, and it's a real opportunity for them to come together. It's often been said to me that they're amazed that you have something of that quality that will come to a village, but I don't think they realise that's our reward. You know, yes, we're paid to do it, and it is labour intensive in terms of setting it up and putting the event on, but you really do get to talk to quite a lot of people during, before, and especially after the performance, and actually that's what you remember at the end. You don't remember how much you earned or where the cheque went. You remember the village and the people you met. Absolutely, performances bring communities together, yes, for sure. And it might be that you only speak to your neighbour for 10 minutes, you know, or you're sitting there to attend an event, but there might be an interval, there's a bar, people stay around afterwards, or they go from here to the pub, depending on which village you're in. So yes, without a doubt, I know it brings communities together, for sure, yeah.